This episode's FTR shoutout goes to Anime Kitten. By the way, I love anime. Talk to me about anime. Yeah. Also, isn't that a dog on your display picture, you troll? Leave a comment down below to have a chance for a shoutout in the next episode. Make sure you're subscribed. Yo, what up, Corey Gang Fish fam? It's your boy Chris, you're watching Fish for Thought, and welcome back to another fish tank review.
Big water slide. Scoop those things up, get them out of there. Oh my god, what is that? Something. Fly! Oh my god!
Yo, let's get it. Last week you guys voted, and for some reason the White Cloud Mountain Minnow and the Rummy Nose went head to head and tied unanimously exactly on the dot. Complete stalemate. That means I'm gonna add 2 more fish into the fray next week, and we're gonna see who ends up on top. Don't miss out on your opportunity to vote for that on my Instagram, and plus you'll get to see viewer submitted tanks by you. Follow me on my journey and adventures through life, and also shoot me DMs, and I will also respond to every single one of them. I've still been successful. It's becoming quite a lot, but I'm trying my best. Like squad, the last few FTRs have been asking for a lot of likes, but you guys have been showing up. I've been getting more likes than ever in these videos. Let's get another 2,000 likes. I know you guys can do it. We will need you, yes you, to press that like button. A small little gesture from you is gonna mean a lot for the channel that you like to watch. What started off as a convalescent home turned into a permanent betta pond. Although the subreddit is R Betta Fish, I found this in R aquariums, but honestly, I don't really think this is a crappy tank. This has got to be at least 5 gallons, which is the acceptable minimum worldwide for bettas. Maybe not in Europe. I think they do things a little better in Europe for betta fish. But anyways, this is not bad at all. There's a filter. It looks like it's running pretty good. Not too fast of a flow, not too slow, just enough for the betta to, you know, handle. There's even live plants in there. There's a little betta log for it to hang out in. The water looks clean. This is really what I recommend people when they're like, hey, I gotta rescue a fish tomorrow and I don't have a tank, or like, hey, I wanna upgrade my tank but I have no money because I'm 12 years old. I always tell them, do you have any Tupperware containers containing like used clothes or items that you don't really need in the house? You can always clean that up, make sure it's a non-toxic material, and then just transport your fish in it. It is a very, very cheap way to get a fish tank started and provide so much room for your fish versus like a 1.5 gallon crappy little tank. This is a much better option. Great. The owner is just watching this happen, just watching all the fish get stressed. Those fish don't look cheap at all, and that tank does not look cheap either. Like I said in the last video when I featured that photo of this tank, it's got such a clean look, rimless. It would be amazing as a planted tank. Instead, you put oversized Ryuu, I think, goldfish in there, and then just watch as your cat stresses them out. That makes no sense. Whoa, that is pretty cool. You can definitely tell they're predatory because they follow such a fast-moving object really well, and almost like just instinctually, automatically. They don't even think about that. They see a fast-moving object, they're like, oh, that's food, I'm gonna follow it. Just like a cat. This tank is sent in by Chloe. A nice, long, beautiful planted tank showcasing a fish that I'm not really aware of. It's called the Dormitator maculatus, or also known as the fat sleeper. And here's a better picture close-up of the fat sleepers. They sure are chunky, and they're wild caught, so that's extra cool. They look like marvelous pets. They also look like something that would be invasive in the wild, so I guess you're doing a good job by removing them from the habitat they're not supposed to be in. The tank itself is nice. Could use more scape upwards, so you could use bigger plants like big Amazon swords, but I gotta give it to the unique stocking choice. Never seen fat sleepers in a fish tank before. Really cool, 4.2 out of 5. Hopping good design, spacious bowl design, half gallon capacity. Oh man, hopping good design. Wait, how is it out of stock? I hope they only made like one and then it got sold, because that's what I think is plausible in this situation. Why would anyone, how in the world is something like this out of stock? Doesn't seem to mind. So then what? Is he gonna tell you he wants a bigger tank? This makes me so sad. All right, now I know what that means. Doesn't seem to mind. Very neat product. I love this concept. It works very well. The fish yang part seems a bit small once the plant is submerged in the water, but our little fish doesn't seem to mind the right quarters. Okay. Didn't know you talk fish, Danielle. You know, Danielle, You should give more room to your fish. Very understocked. Tout équipé means everything, it comes with everything for $175. And yeah, I feel like it does come with everything. It comes with all the fish in the world. It seems like every single fish is in that fish tank. Next tank sent in by Jelmer Cool, and what a cool last name first of all. Also what a darn cool planted tank this is. The discus look absolutely gorgeous, and then the giant vallus with the 2 separate islands of plants. I see Anubias, I see Hygrophila, lots of green, great textures. Big tank and aquascape to perfection, I would say. Haven't given out a 5 out of 5 in a while. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. Jelmer, keep it up. I have no suggestions for you. You should teach me how to aquascape. Jesse Phillips sent in this tank of his 1 pea puffer. Really cute, really nice. I like the log, and then you planted all around that. I see some crypts, I see some nice moss. This is a very cozy looking tank, perfect for 1 pea puffer. I hope you're feeding them really good frozen bloodworms and sometimes live food, and maybe the snail. Now, Aquarium Co-op did confirm that pea puffers do not need snails to grind down their teeth because they are the only known species in this hobby of freshwater puffer that does not need to grind down their teeth. 4.1 out of 5. Keep it up. Plies Emil Weiberg, hope I said that right, sent this tank in. Got some angels, gouramis, some life bearers. I hope they will grow up and tolerate each other. I'm not sure if this tank is necessarily big enough when they are full sized. Got some Hygrophila polysperma and some Rotala or Ludwigia, not sure. The Anubias in the front looks a little bit dirty. It's being overtaken by brown algae. Always not a good sign. They also look like the rhizomes are planted into the substrate, which you never want to do with Anubia, so definitely try to take that out as soon as possible. For now, I'm giving this tank a 3.7 out of 5. This next beast of a tank is sent in by Christian Apostolowski. Again, my bad if I said it wrong. The textures are wild. You got a long carpet of dwarf sage. You got some vallus. You even got hornwort in the very corner. Don't think I didn't see that. Big old tank of green. But I do want to see some red tones perhaps. Maybe just a little bit of hardscape would help. 4.8 out of 5 though. This is no joke. All right, Max Adams, you sent in this tank and it looks pretty good. I have my doubts if all the plants are real though. That Anubias definitely looks a little funky. There's a cluster of what looks like Salvinia floating up top. Javafern and the other piece of Anubias and the moss looks real enough. I think that's 88 aqua soil, so very nutritious substrate. Not sure if I'm digging the Cholla wood hardscape. It's a good start, clean looking rimless tank with some live plants in it, and it's very understocked for now, so 3.85 out of 5. Poor Tom and Jerry. Is that what those 2 fish are called? They look so sad. And before I need to say anything, I scroll down to the comments and they said everything for me. They can't do any other thing than just exist. That's all I do, so I know their pain. Same. The aquarium that sits on the bottom level of the recreated former home of Ho Chi Minh at the Zone 5 Military Museum, Da Nang, Vietnam. That was a mouthful and very way too specific. Okay. The goldfish looks like it's going through PTSD from the Vietnam War.
Did he just die? I just took a dying.
Okay, how does a fish just die? I literally saw it swimming and then it was done in half a millisecond. Scroll down to the comments for some investigation. Some people were saying that it wasn't water, so maybe it was like vodka or maybe it was some sort of soap or bleach. Some people said there was too much of a shock. Maybe the water was too different in temperature, so maybe it was super cold or way too hot. Either way, I feel so bad for that fish. Can you imagine just existing and the air around you is just poison and then you die immediately? This is literally crappy aquariums. I confirmed that there's no fish in that tank, thank goodness, because that water is definitely filled with a whole bunch of fecal coliforms. Because you know every time you flush after a poop, the molecules all float in the air and then get on surfaces. And in this case, into the water of that tank is where it all collects. I don't know what to say, there's a lot wrong here. All right. My goaties just love each other. I know some think goldfish shouldn't be with angels, and others, but they are perfectly at peace waiting for their new tank to cycle. This tank doesn't look like it's cycled, my dude. So ironic that there's a skull on the bottom, because that's what your fish are gonna look like in 2 weeks. I'm glad they're together though. I guess they have a friend to go to heaven with. How romantic indeed. I don't even have anything funny to say. This is just straight up sad. Betta fight to death. Don't miss last 2 minutes. And the channel is called Beta Fish Fight. 381 subscribers. I cannot. Thanks for visibly giving the thumbs down. 5.1k thumbs down versus 612 thumbs up, which is a good ratio, but that's still 612 people who liked this video. Homies, if you have the time, go report that video. Let's take it down. And thank you for staying till the last 2 minutes of my video. It really supports this channel and this video because it tells YouTube algorithms that you really liked it enough to stay for the whole video. And then it'll recommend this video to other people. That means it'll help grow our community and the channel that you so love. If you enjoyed this video, please drop that like as we talked about before, and subscribe. There'll be more videos to come. Don't forget to get your hands wet. I don't know what I did just there.